Welcome everyone to today's webinar, High School Survival Kit, Engaging Students with Impactful Business Skills. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Paul Cotter. I am the Vice President of Marketing here at Stukent, and I'm thrilled to be hosting this webinar with you today. As we begin, I want to encourage you to use the chat feature. I can see that you're starting already. Go ahead and enter in and tell us where you're watching from today. Tell us if school has started already for you. Welcome, Quinn. Welcome, Kennedy. Welcome, Anne-Marie. Thank you so much for joining us today. Feel free at any time to use the chat feature, and we have an amazing team who's standing by and will communicate with you throughout today's event through chat. Now, if you can't stick around for the whole event, don't worry about it. We will send out an email shortly after the conference that will give you a link to the entire webinar. And we will have a Q&A session at the end of today's webinar. So save any questions that you have, and you'll have an opportunity at the end to answer those. And this goes without saying, you know this, you're high school teachers, but when you're commenting today, please be respectful and polite in the comments. So welcome again. Quinn is from Salt Lake City. They started school today. Wow. Here we go. Jacqueline from Covington Middle School. Today was their first day of school. Janice from Kentucky. They started on 8/7. Wow. Guys, it's starting up. Here we go. It's fall. Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, as a special thank you to all of you for joining us today, I'm excited to offer you a free trial of Stukent CTE. Click below to see how Stukent CTE can connect your class to a full learning experience filled with standards-based courseware, Simternships, certification prep materials, and industry-approved certifications. So take advantage of this opportunity to explore how Stukent CTE can elevate learning and future careers in your school. Now, while you're taking a second to request your free trial, let me introduce and welcome to the stage Virgil Ricks. Virgil is the portfolio director for Stukent CTE, where he works to bring innovative, engaging curriculum and simulations into CTE classrooms across the country. Virgil is a former high school teacher and creator of the educational YouTube channel, The 2-Minute Classroom, which has driven more than 20 million views. Virgil is so passionate about making education better and fulfilling Stukent's CTE mission to help educators, help students, help the world. Virgil, welcome.
Thanks, Paul. Happy to be here.
Great. Well, we're going to go ahead and turn the time over to you, and you can take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul, for that introduction, and especially thank you, teachers, for being here. I know this is a very busy time of year for you. Lots going on. I see some of you, started a week or so ago. Some of you are just starting today. Some are starting, in the next week or so. So it's a very busy time, and so we appreciate you taking some of that time to spend with us. I'm excited to walk you through today some of our great courses, simulations, and certifications, as Paul mentioned. And I would love to know in the chat if you are a Stukent user or Business U user from last year or previous years, or if you're new to Stukent or Business U, and I can help kind of tailor the conversation to your needs. And if you're not aware, Stukent and Business U merged about a year ago, came together to, provide world-class curriculum, standards-based courses with engaging simulations and Simternships and industry-backed certifications. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, going through these 4 pillars and showing you some of our courses, our simulations, our certifications, and then highlighting some changes this year that I think you'll be excited about. And it looks like we've got some that are completely new, some that have been using Stukent or Business Year for several years. So excited to jump in and get everyone up to speed and on the same page. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. let me know if you can see my screen. So can you see my screen here with the courseware, Simternships, certification prep, and certifications? Excellent. So we have this 4-pillar approach where we want to make sure that you not only have, the curriculum you need to teach your course, but you also have engaging activities, videos, our simulations, and certifications to really prepare your students to get out and be successful. And you can see here we've started in the business, marketing, and finance space, and that's where the majority of our courses are. But we're growing into ag CTE, and into future clusters and pathways down the road. But right now, and most of you being business, marketing, and finance teachers, we'll focus on those courses. And so we have our standards-based, world-class courseware, which has really everything you need to teach the course and is aligned to all the state standards and national standards. And then we have our simulations, which we like to call Simternships, because they're really a simulated internship experience for your students that provides them, job-ready skills that they can add to their resume and show that they actually know how to do business and social media marketing and entrepreneurship, and can take that into whether it's on to be successful in college or out into the workforce. And then lastly, certifications. There's a lot of great opportunities to showcase certifications and showcase students' success through certifications. And we both provide certification prep for like Microsoft Office certifications, some of the Internet Business certifications, lots of the certifications that you may take. We provide prep resources for those, but we also have certifications of our own. You can see here in marketing, social media, sports marketing, entrepreneurship that you can give to your students, and we'll be diving into those more today as well. So you'll see a poll up asking about certifications. If you use those, good to see we have a good mix, those that do use them and those that don't. Maybe we can sway some of those that don't to jump in and see what they're missing. And so I'm going to jump in now to our courseware. And so this is my profile. I've logged into the platform and looking at all the different options for classes I can add. And if you requested a free trial through the link, which you should be able to access still in the bottom corner there, and I'm sure we'll pop it up again at the end, then you can get in and do the same. You can see all of our courses, get full access, and play around and see what we have to offer. But let's jump into Intro to Business here. So go to Intro to Business, create a class. We'll call it ITB Semester 1. And I can create that class, and instantly we see it's pulled up. I can connect with whatever LMS I'm using. So if you use Google Classroom, Canvas, you can easily, just through one click up here, click and have that single sign-on, syncing your assignments, rostering your students, all of that pretty seamless and straightforward. And then jumping into our course outline here, we really believe in having the teacher in control. So you can come into any lesson, any course, and open it up and say, here's what I want to assign, and toggle that on and off. So we have kind of the DNA of our lessons. There's videos, there's lesson text, and there's class discussion. So whether you want to read, watch, or discuss the material, we make it easy for you as the teacher to provide that to your students. And then glossary of terms, as well as quiz for the glossary. And then we believe strongly in having some ethics component to our lessons to provide students the opportunity to understand business ethics and how that applies in the workplace and in the world. And then lots of activities for the students to jump in and really find engaging material to connect them to business, marketing, or whatever the course may be. And then we also have these At the Bell videos, which are kind of a fun, relevant, timely topic that we put these out on a regular basis, but they're also embedded into the lessons, and they make it a little, again, more engaging. We use faces that the students may relate to, topics that the students will relate to, and then provide discussion questions for you as the instructor and the teacher to, help the students understand and engage with the topic. So let me stop there and just jump into the chat and see if you have any questions. Feel free to put them in the chat as we go through, but you can also put those there and we'll get them at the end if I don't get them while I'm going through the lesson. So I see we had the poll go out around the social media sim, and it looks like that's a new one for most of you. And so I'll jump into that sim now and show you kind of what our Simternships look like, how we provide students real world experience through those, and allow you to see and experience what those could be for your class. So if I go back to my classes here and add a class, you can come here and see the different simulations that we offer. So this is the social media Simternship. I already have a class created, so I'll go ahead and jump in to that. And again, with all our courses, we make it easy for you to be in control and determine what and when you assign activities to the students. But I want to jump in and just show, one, how easy it is for you to, in your free trial, play through these simulations, and then two, talk through the social media sim in general. So once you come into the course and have your free trial, or if you have an existing course, you can open it up and you can just launch directly into the simulation. And with each of our simulations, they follow a similar format where they have an introduction and then several rounds of activities that the student will go through. So in the introduction, they kind of get the overview of the Simternship, what they'll be doing. There's a video that walks them through that as well. And then again, we like to make it as real world as possible. So there's an inbox that they have throughout the simulation, and they have a manager that they have to check in with, and that continually updates them on, hey, here's what we're focusing on right now. We provide some feedback around the fictitious company that they'll be working for. So in this case, Bowie Supply Company. There's core values. Again, making it as real world as possible, so it feels like that they are doing an internship for this simulated company. Along with that, we provide market information that helps guide the students to know what they're supposed to focus on. In this case, in this simulation, they're selling backpacks, working for this Bowie Supply Company that has bags, backpacks, luggage, and they can scroll through and see what the product offering is here, some of the price points, and get, again, an understanding of this company. And then, as is with many companies out there, if you're working in marketing, they'll have a brand or style guide. So we provide that for the students so they can know how to create their social media posts, how to drive revenue for the company, and make sure the students have what they need to be successful. And then with each round, once they've completed all the activities, then they go and jump in. So that's kind of the introduction round, and then they jump into their activities. So in this case, we're jumping into the social media sim, starting round one. We have the message from our manager here, giving out our assignment to review the market information, the market reports, and go through all the documents. And then we see our goals for this first round. right? We're doing organic social media posts, and we have a goal to get 64,000 impressions and drive $4,500 in revenue. And we can see down here in the bottom left corner, there's a budget of $1,500. I've already created some posts and played through a little bit, so I've spent some of that, and we'll see that here shortly. This information is also relayed in the inbox, again, from Naomi Hilton, the Vice President of Marketing, who is my boss in this Simternship. And I can jump in and see, all right, here's what I'm supposed to do, analyze the data. Here's some documents that I need to review. Those are linked at the bottom here that I can open those up as a PDF to review them. And then my assignments for the week. We also have a messaging piece here that the students can respond to messages from coworkers, from across their social media platforms. So this one from Carolina is, she works with Bowie. She says, welcome to the team, and has a question, what exactly are social media engagements? And so I have some options here that I can select from. If I make a selection and it's incorrect, then I'll get some feedback, not quite right, and then I have an option to answer it again. These are not scored activities. They're just an engagement piece, again, to provide that real world feel, real world experience. And then you can keep on selecting until you select the correct answer. All of the documents provided for this round will also be included in this review documents section. So I can go in, and if I don't want to download them and open them up as a PDF, I know that's sometimes difficult or tricky for students. I can come into the document hub here and review them without having to download, which just makes it a little easier for the students to kind of do everything they need to within the Simternship simulation. And you'll see with this, we highlight, for example, in the social media audit for each platform, the breakdown of the audience, age. This is for TikTok. This is the best time and days to post. So you can see the highest engagement is with the darker squares. We can look and say, well, it looks like Wednesdays and Thursdays are popular, especially in the afternoon. So that's good feedback for when we create our social media posts. And then lastly, we'll jump to that, creating the posts themselves. So here you can see we give some steps. Here's how you analyze the data, create the posts. There's a video walkthrough as well, making it easier for students to know how and what to do. And then lastly here, they can select which platform they want to post to. So let's make an Instagram post. And this tool really mimics a lot of social media management platforms out there, so that, again, it provides students that real world experience that they can then add to a resume, take to the job market, speak to in interviews, or in their college career. So I can select media. I can come in here and see all the different types of media that we have. I can search specifically if I want to, target a specific persona, maybe outdoors hiker. So I can select an image here, and I can see the price associated with that image. Now it shows up in my post, and I can write some content. Right, so say hiking the mountains with my Bowie backpack. And then I can select the URL for the product that I want to target. And then lastly, scheduling the post for when it's going to go live. You can see I already have some scheduled here this week, and each round is about a week within the simulation. So I'm going to do this one for 8 a.m. and then schedule that post. So now I can see all my scheduled posts here. And then once I'm done with all the activities this round, I can go and submit the round. And then once they complete a round, we give them feedback on how they did. So for me, I didn't create enough posts, so I didn't get as many impressions or revenue as I needed, but I can see, where I hit. I have 28,000 impressions out of the 64,000 I needed. So needed to create some more posts, maybe needed to create some better posts and to drive more revenue and more impressions. We have a video that walks the students through how to interpret their results. And then they can come down here and see specifically for each platform the results that they got. So we can go to Instagram, see my impressions, my revenue, and then the days that I posted, how those posts performed, and something that we've added this year. So if you've used the sim in the past, you'll see it's kind of a new layout. There's some new interactions. And we've also added this feedback portion here now. So each post, the student can click in and see, hey, here's some things that you should consider. There's typos in this post. So consider your spelling. That brings down the professionalism, brings down the overall successfulness of a post. And then it gives feedback on who you're targeting. So it says you targeted Dave Packer Tom and linked to the American Dream backpack. So you're good on your targeting, but maybe consider your spelling. And then we can look at this post and see how it performed. It's giving us some different feedback. So proximity and time says, hey, this wasn't really the best time to post, and it was actually really close to another post that you did. So consider spreading out your posts more and doing that at optimal times. Check the Bowie social media audit for more feedback on that. And it looks like you targeted the right audience. And so that feedback can help the student then as they go into this next round and create new posts, new organic social media posts to be successful. And then you can see the overall layout of the rounds here. They go 3 rounds of organic social media posts, 4 rounds of paid posts, and then 3 rounds of paid posts, and then 3 rounds of general social media posts. So if we jump into the paid social media posts, I'll just show you quickly how that's a little different. It's still same market information. They still have scenario. Their goals have increased a lot. Now their budget's $10,000 and they're going to be doing paid posts. So there's a lot more opportunity for revenue there. They still have email from their boss here who's telling them, hey, now we're doing paid posts. Here's some things to think about. And then lastly, getting in and creating the paid posts themselves. So we'll go ahead and just create one of these real quick so you can see what that looks like. We'll do a reel. Reels and short form video content's pretty popular. So we can see is awareness, consideration, and conversion. Students can select, what am I going for here? I want to drive for conversions. They can create that content and then basically fill out their social media ad. So let's select the video we want to use here first. So now we're just looking at all the short form video content. Let's do one around travel. So we'll focus on world travel here. Best bags for world travel. Oh, this is the fun of doing these live, like doing math on the chalkboard. Take Bowie backpacks. Across the world. Easy to travel with. So I just put some information in there so we can run the post. Select a call to action, what you want the viewer to do, and then again select the bag you want to link to. So we'll say Legacy Backpack and set the budget for this ad. The ad, it says, will run for 7 days, starts November 6th, ends on November 12th. And we're going to spend $112 per day, $784 total. And then you create the audience. So I'm going to say targeting both males and females, set the age range here to 25 to 45. And we'll say interests are travel. And you can add multiple interests here. We'll say hacking. And then we can save this audience so we can use it later. We'll call it world travel. Again, very similar to how you would create these paid social media posts or ads in a social media management tool. And then we can schedule that and submit that round. So let me just respond to these real quick so we can submit the round. Let's see if it'll let us. So now we can see the results. I only created one ad. I didn't spend all my budget, so obviously performed very poorly here. But again, I can come in and see how my ad performed, see the metrics, and get the feedback on what I can do better with my ads in the next round. So that's the social media Simternship, just to highlight the different simulations and Simternships that we have. Come back here to the Explore page and see marketing, social media, digital marketing, sales, accounting, both accounting 1 and 2, business finance, personal finance, introduction to business, human resources, career readiness. So lots of different opportunities here to, again, engage your students with these work-based simulations. And then lastly, I want to jump into our certifications. And so when you're doing a free trial, you can't access the certifications themselves, but you can see the certification prep. So for our certifications, we have the marketing, social media, personal finance. We have an entrepreneurship one, intro to business, some others that are coming. But just to jump into these certification prep resources and show what those look like. If you've used our certifications before, then this will be something new. And if you've not, then happy to introduce you. So jump into my classes here. You can see I have a marketing certification prep course. And within these courses, we have a full study guide that walks through all the learning objectives, provides some practice questions, some vocabulary, and it's aligned with our marketing course. So if you're using the marketing course, you can use this study guide to help know what to focus on with your students to prepare them for the certification exam. And then we also provide those practice exams for the students. So we have 2 practice exams that you can reassign multiple times, and it pulls from a bank of 240 questions. So there's, each student will get a unique exam, but it'll be covering the same learning objectives, hitting on the same topics, but they just won't see all the same questions. So it'll pull 40 questions from a bank of 240. You as the teacher can get in and see all those questions, but these are structured in the same format of the actual exam. So it really prepares the students well for the certification exam itself. And students can go through, take this, see how they score, and then determine what areas they need to focus on to improve for the certification exam. So those are the 4 pillars that we focus on. And again, through courseware, Sims, certifications, really looking to provide a single solution for CTE educators, especially in business, marketing, and finance. And like I said, growing into agriculture. And we're constantly working on, updating these courses, providing new courses. If you have any feedback around that, we'd love to hear it. Yeah, happy to answer any questions now on anything that we went through, and see if we can help you out.
Great, thanks, Virgil. We've got some questions here that we can start out with. If you have more, just enter them in the chat and we'll be sure and get them. One question is, how much time do teachers usually need to set up and customize the courseware before it's ready to use in the classroom? What's the process like?
Yeah, so it depends on what you're looking to do, but generally, the Simternships themselves are pretty set and ready to go. The courseware, just depending on what you want to focus on, whether it's videos or reading assignments, and which activities you want to use, it takes a little bit to set that up. But as you saw when I went in, it's as simple as linking your LMS through a couple clicks, and then toggling those assignments and activities on for your students to access. And we have a great and responsive support team that is happy to jump in and help you out, answer any questions you have, and help you get set up quickly so you're ready to go. That's
great. Janice, she asked, if the student runs out of money for the budget, what happens?
So they can't run out of money, or they can only use the money that they're provided. So once they've used all those funds, then they can't spend anymore. They'll have to reallocate and decide, oh, actually, I don't want to spend this much money for this media, and I'm going to purchase some other media or spend that money on running the paid post itself.
Okay, great. Elizabeth asked, can you go over what a lesson might look like? For example, what parts are done as a whole class and what parts are done individual?
Sure. Yeah, let me pull that back up and walk through. Give me just a minute. So it depends on how you want to run your class, basically. But you can do group assignments and group activities, and there are ones that you can assign. You can split up your roster into groups and assign that way. But you can also go in and assign these activities. Once you open it up, it'll be available to all the students in the class, but you can also assign specific activities or assignments to specific students. So you can say, I'm just going to enable this for some of my students. I only have one student in this course, but I can select that student and then submit, and you'll see it's actually a blue check mark letting me know that it's assigned to some students. And then, for example, if you're going to do like the lecture slides, that'll be a class discussion. You can pull those up, pull up the presentation, and then we have the whole outline here for you to go through each slide, questions you can ask, kind of the lesson plan and guide for that lesson. And then we also have within each lesson a lesson plan that you can review and determine, what you want to focus on. So let me open that up real quick so you can see what that looks like. being a little slow. And again, the nice thing is too that you can, with that free trial, you can get in, you have full access, you can see all this, you can even, roster your students, connect it with your LMS and let them try it for the length of the free trial. You can see in the lesson plan here, we kind of give an overview. Hey, here's how to run this lesson. Here's the pacing, everything you could cover, the objectives, vocabulary, and then we have, activities to engage. Then our explore section of how to, whether you're watching the videos or doing the discussion, this elaborate, and then evaluate. So kind of these 4 E's with each lesson. Again, have these lesson plans to make it easier for you to plan out and then go back to your lesson and assign. Oh, I just realized, Paul, I wasn't sharing the right tab. There we go.
Oh,
you can see it. See the lesson plan here. So hopefully that answers your question.
great. Thanks for sharing that, Virgil. Janice had a question about certifications, asking if they're state recognized as industry certifications. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the certifications.
Yeah, so it depends on what state you're in. We are certified and approved in many states and working on getting our certification exams, approved in all states. And so depending on the state you're in, we may be approved. So Janice, if you want to pop in with what state you're in, I can tell you.
Kentucky.
In Kentucky, we're working on that one. We're not approved yet, but it's one that we're actively working on. New York as well. We're not quite approved there yet, but working on it. And, we would love if you have connections and can help us out. We'd love to connect.
I think you're going to get everyone listing their state here now.
Texas, we are through this next year for our social media certification, and we're working on getting several other of our certification exams approved there.
What about Virginia?
Virginia, not yet.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's look. What is the total time students need to complete the simulations?
It varies by simulation because they're depending on the number of rounds, essentially. For Intro to Business, it's about 12 rounds. If you use all the modules, there's a marketing module, an HR module. So if you use all of those, it's about 12 rounds. And we say anywhere from like 30 to 90 minutes per round. And so using that, for Intro to Business, you're looking at, 12-ish hours of activity actually in the sim. There may be more time as they're, learning those concepts, work through some of the problems, but generally, like we say, 30 to 90 minutes per round.
Great. Virgil, do we have any data related to the prep courses and passage rates?
Yeah, so the prep courses and passage rates for like prepping for a third-party certification. So anecdotally, we don't have any hard data to share, but from those that have used them, they said that the material is easier to, kind of assign and align to what they're prepping for, which, means the students learn it better, which then helps them succeed. So those teachers that have used it really have found it to be successful.
Great. Robin's asking if she can incorporate portions of the economics course into her marketing course.
Yes. So again, with the teacher in control piece, you can mix and match any courses, any material. So if you have in your license the Intro to Business course and economics and marketing, you can pull something from economics into business or vice versa. And you can also add your own content. You can upload your own slides, your own activities. You can build your own quizzes. So it's as customizable as you want it to be. But again, also we have the kind of set structured courses to make it easy for you to go in and just turn things on and hit the ground running.
Great. We've got a couple questions regarding support. So what are some of the ongoing support or resources that are available to teachers once they start using? And then are there any like communities or groups where educators kind of talk about this or share some of the ways they use these tools and resources?
Yeah. So we have a very responsive support team. When you're in the platform, you can, chat and communicate and ask any questions, and we'll respond very quickly and get those things taken care of. And we also have, you can email us at support.cte, I think is what it is, at stukent.com. And again, we're here for you. It's not, once you sign up and you're in, that we aren't there to help you anymore. We're always checking in, making sure that you have what you need, and want you to be successful. We're here to help educators like you to be successful.
Great. Virgil, any examples of how these simulations or the certifications have helped students as they've either gone on to college or for job opportunities?
Yeah. In both cases, we've had a lot of students that have gone through our simulations, our Simternships, and then when they hit their first job, they said, "Hey, I was able to actually hit the ground running because I already knew different platforms. I knew what made a good, we talked about social media, knew what made a good social media post, or knew how to create search ads, or knew how to think through, these accounting principles and use a tool like QuickBooks." And so we've heard that from a lot of students that have gone on to go into careers that are related to some of the activities that they did in the simulations, and then in college as well. It helps set them up and set them apart from their peers by having really what amounts to real world internship experience that they can say, yeah, I took, I had a budget of $10,000 and I was able to drive $25,000 in revenue by creating these social media posts and targeting a specific audience. And, we give them that experience and even give them the language to speak about that experience to recruiters, to interviews, and when applying for universities.
Yeah, great. Any final thoughts as we wrap up, Virgil?
Just again, thank you for taking time out of the busy schedule that you have right now. Those especially that have just barely started. I know it's a chaotic time, but appreciate you taking the time. And if you have any questions, feel free, reach out, jump in, check out the free trial. We'd be happy to help you set up courses, answer any questions you have, and make your school year as easy as possible.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Virgil, for joining us today and walking us through this simulation and a bit of the platform. Thank you to all of you for joining us, especially those of you who have started. A couple of you started today. That's amazing. Good luck. Have a great year. And we appreciate everyone's continued support. Once again, go ahead and click if you're interested in the free trial, and we can definitely get you connected, and you can get more information, walk through it yourself, see what it's like. So thanks everyone for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your day and the school year. Thanks everyone.
Thanks.